live. 2019 is almost over. This is 40 Fit Fu. My name is Oscar, and this is Mimi.
We're here most and every Tuesday around 7:45 to give you fitness tips for those who are 40 and up to be able to continue doing martial arts well into your 90s.
That's the goal, well into your 90s. Also, if you can find a way to wear matching shirts, you are winning in life. All right, well, we decided for this episode, first of all, it's going to be our last episode of the year. Let's make it the last episode of the decade, actually.
Yeah.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about what we went through as 40-year-olds with our fitness. What did you learn in 2019?
Well, I'm not a 40-year-old, but I am in my 40s.
Okay.
So in 2019, for sure, we've been talking a lot about that thing we call joint mobility. I think for the last year, you've been hearing us talk about joint mobility, where we're doing all this number. I've definitely learned that I need to do that often, especially if I want to feel better, feel good throughout the day, you know. So particularly, I've noticed like my warm-ups take a little bit more of intention with my breathing and making sure I do all that movement. And also, if things feel a little bit tweaky or off, not to panic and to just kind of address it with a lot of the exercises and things that we've actually told our viewers to do. So for sure, as you get older, you feel a lot more and your body speaks to you a lot more. So we'll take that as a gift, a gift of a reminder of what's happening, and that way we can address it. So that's definitely something that, you know, I think you guys have noticed as well. Each week we're like, hey, by the way, I was on the plane and I was sitting and this hurt me and I felt this and here's what I did and why I did it. And so I think that it's actually a plus that our bodies talk to us a little bit more.
Excellent. Actually, so I'll segue right into that and say the things that we're doing now in our 40s are going to affect how we move in our 50s and 60s and continuing. But based on even what you said, it made me think that things that we did in our 20s are now affecting how we're moving now. And the really cool thing is that it's never too late to continuously get better. That's got to be Pete, right? Pete? This is awesome. I love seeing that.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be. I hope it is.
My live on Instagram.
And so the things that we do in our 20s affect how we feel today, but we can continuously get better. Definitely a huge emphasis on, I wouldn't call it rehab training, but on prioritizing joint mobility and joint health.
Love the joint mobility.
Prioritizing not necessarily good posture, but being in good and different positions throughout the day affects how I feel. And even on a personal note, as far as like nutrition and diet and stuff like that, good multivitamin and vitamin B12 has helped me out a lot. A lot more vegetables, a lot less to almost no gluten. So sad, but there are amazing options. So some changes in my diet, and over the course of the year, and I took this cue from you, it is actually slowing down when I eat, realizing that hunger is not a huge emergency.
It's not an emergency.
And number 3, that I don't have to be part of the Clean Plate Club forever.
I can put down the fork
right.
and
just
pass
because
that
it's there, just because the food is there doesn't mean that I've got to shovel it all into my mouth and win the competition of like, because I used to do that. I'd be like, oh, I can finish that. And at this age, it's probably not the right thing to do.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of which, that also, what number day are we in with your 30-day eating challenge?
Today was 19. Tomorrow's day 20, and day 20 of eating slowly and mindfully. You can go back on Control Your Health Facebook page or even on our YouTube channel. We have a bunch of videos on that.
Yeah, so for those of you who are like, well, I don't want to wait till New Year's. I want to kickstart doing something now so you don't feel like you're just despondent and you've given up. You can actually log on and just follow day 1 starting today or tomorrow and just take it from there. It's not a diet. It is not telling you what you can and can't eat. It's just more some habit changes and mindfulness, and I highly recommend it because that is something I actually did, not this past year, but the year before, and it really did make a difference as I aged for me to be able to continue to jump and do kung fu and do these movements that require a lot more physicality as you age. Like, you have to kind of be smarter about it.
Right.
So in order to do that, I did have to tailor my eating as well. So and it wasn't like huge sacrifices. It was just making these small adjustments, and they're very manageable. But for sure, I think from a physical standpoint, I did notice like traveling takes a lot more out of me. I have a lot more recovery time that I need, even just getting more sleep. That's been something that's been huge. So over the last year, I think this 2019, you've heard us talk. I think number one is probably joint mobility. I think that is the Oscars, like bread and butter.
Well, because it's for 40 people doing kung fu in their 40s. You gotta take care of your joints.
Yeah, it's like the number one. But beyond that, actually, it's the sleep and meditation. We talked about, having that mindfulness. So we really have made all of these adjustments, and it has absolutely helped.
Right.
I can say. And I've actually heard from some of our viewers that, hey, I was doing this and I did some of the joint mobilities, I did some of the ankle stuff, and it did help. So thank you for that feedback that you're actually giving us. That really is helpful. As we move into 2020, we want to hear more from you on what you would like us to cover. We are going to take a little holiday break because we figured you guys aren't going to be watching us in 45th Fu.
Yeah, listen, the next two episodes are slated to be Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So go spend time with your family, enjoy your friends.
Enjoy mobility.
Yeah, and be like, hey, check this great joint circle. What do you think about that?
I didn't even out now.
So yeah, spend time with that. I'll tell you what I think I would like to do more of next year, specifically since we're trying to continuously cater to 40-year-olds who are doing martial arts.
50, 60, or 70, 40 and
60
up.
And up.
Yeah,
and even if you're younger, because remember, the stuff you do in your 20s and 30s will affect you as you get older. But I would say I would like to do more like hands-on or follow-along instructional type stuff, as opposed to just speaking, and put that out there. So that's one of the things. But to your point, Mimi, I think if we can hear from you guys what you want us to do, then that
right.
Because
I know what I like, but I want to know what you
right.
like.
I mean, I know what I like.
Right. And also, just to kind of plug our Wallum Films channel, you can see the Control Your Health, the Wallum Fit stuff, the Kung Fu Pod stuff. We do have follow-along videos there already. So, for example, some of those joint routines, and also all of our 2019 episodes are up on our YouTube channel. So you can check those out, follow along, and then let us know how it goes. Like, did that help you? Are you feeling what you're supposed to be feeling while you're doing those exercises? But I think as we close out for our 2019 episode, we just want to thank you guys for, following and watching and giving us your feedback, letting us know that you are out there and that this has been helpful. It's been really cool. We've met some martial artists from all over the world, different places that have actually given us feedback, and that's been really cool. So we love hearing from you guys and love knowing that we're not alone in feeling that we have reached a certain age and that we have to do a little bit extra. But like I said, for me, I think actually been grateful that my body is talking to me more versus like, oh, I'll find out in a month or 2 months down the road, I hurt myself and I don't remember why. But you're getting kind of immediate feedback. And instead of saying that you're getting older, just say, we are learning. We have a bigger capacity for learning. So that's all really, really positive.
Yeah, that information, knowledge is power. And I guess it goes with as you get older, you get wiser. Maybe we're getting wiser because our body is telling us more things.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, we're older and wiser. It's if information is knowledge and knowledge is power, we're getting a lot of information every single day of our body saying, hey, you're not 20 anymore. However, I will say, this is no bragging, but I am stronger than I've ever been. And maybe not and I don't have as much energy all the time as I always have, but I am stronger than I've ever been. I feel my body is healthier than it's ever been. So it is possible to continue to improve as you get older. And for 2020, here's what I'd like to leave you with as far as thinking about goal setting, quote unquote. Is one, yes, you should have a goal. Think of setting some goals for 2020, but even more importantly is think about what are the actions, what are the behaviors that you would do consistently on a day-to-day basis that will get you towards those goals. So if, just to recap it all with the joint mobility stuff, but if it's like, oh, you know what, I'd really like to get my shoulder healthier next year, that's a goal, great, but what are the actions that you're going to take on a day-to-day basis? It could be, oh, I'm going to do my joint mobility for my shoulder every single day for 5 minutes. That is a much more actionable and a realistic way to gain your goals. So that is what I want to leave you guys with as far as for thinking about 2020. Do we have any questions?
No questions, but a lot of shout outs, like love to see you do more videos. I think that's your cousin Raquel. And then also not older but wiser. So thank you for that comment.
Yes.
We agree.
My
I
cousin
don't know
Raquel,
where
by the
wiser
way,
is different.
is our age, and she looks amazing. I mean, granted, we're related, but she's very good looking. Just wanted her to know that.
All right. Thank you all for this is the 69th episode, so we are coming on like over the year mark, which is really exciting that we kind of accomplished that. So high five for us.
Damn.
Yeah.
2020, January 7th
We will be back in
episode
2020.
70. Episode 70, January 7th, 2020. Tune in, but as always, give us feedback because it feels good to get feedback.
Yes. 40 Fit Foo. Peace out. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Bye.
Whatever you like.